Okay, so this is what filet crochet actually looks like. This is the finished product, and we're actually going to be doing it from this side going up. And these are actually little hearts. Not that they... Anyway, that's what we're doing. I'm really just showing you, I'm not really doing a project, I'm just showing you how to do filet crochet. That's really what I'm actually supposed to do it in thread. We don't have to, but most people do it in thread. Cotton, so it's very thin, it's finer work. This is what it actually looks like when it's done. Now this needs to be blocked, that's why you're not, all your crochet work's supposed to be blocked, but I haven't blocked it. So this is what it looks like when you got the two hearts on it. And the more you do, the more you see. When you just do it on one, because I just did one with you, you don't really see it. The more you do, you're going to see your pattern better. So when you're doing filet crochet, you really want to do the full product of what you're doing. This would make a beautiful scarf, you know, but I was just trying to show you, not really make a project, just show you how to do filet crochet. But yeah, those are your two hearts, and all that this stitch really is you're making little squares. They're either open squares or they're closed squares, and it's all done in double crochet. So it's, when you're doing an open square, it's double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Then when you do your closed squares, you're doing 3 double crochets to each square, but your end and your beginning kind of add to that. You'll see in the video, but you're just doing your double crochets right on top of each other there, and then you're doing open mesh here, and that's what gives you your filet crochet. And as I say, they usually do it in cotton, but you don't have to. There's no set rule about it, you know, there's no set rule in any of your crochet work. So yeah, as I say, you just need to do a little bit more to get the full effect of it. But yeah, that's how you start your filet crochet, and you just work from the chart. I'm going to show you how to work from the chart, and I'm not going to be able to post this chart because I'm not sure how to. I'll have to see, otherwise I'm just going to give you the pattern directions word for word, and I think it'll be easier for you anyway. So yeah, so that's it. So let's get started. Okay, so to start this project in the filet crochet, what I want to do is just show you, this is really what the pattern would look like. You could get any pattern that's got your little squares like this. You can use this for color crochet as well. And so I'm using this, but you have to think a little bit when it comes to the filet crochet. Just do a little bit of maths, not hard, but just a little bit. So in this case, what you have to do is you've got to see how many squares you're using. So for this one, I've got 11 squares going across. There are 11 of these. Now when you do filet crochet, and we're using 2 chain, I'm not sure if you can see this pattern, we're using 2 chain. I haven't really shown you how your patterns work like this, but these stand for your chains. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This stands for your turning chain, where you do 3, and then there are 3 chains, 2 chains here. And this is your double crochet going into this specific chain. And then for another one, you'd have 2 over these 2, and you would have, so that's 1, 2, your next double crochet going in that chain. That's how the pattern works with this fillet. Now you can do it where you do 3 crochet, 3 chains in between, but that gets very big, and I'm not showing you that now, so I don't want to confuse you. You're just going to be doing 2 in between. That's when you're doing your filet crochet with, these are your open squares. When you do a closed square, you'll be doing double crochets in these actual spaces, but I'll show you that when I get there. I just want to show you how to start this. So what you have to do is you've got to count your squares, which is 11. Then you times that by 3. And the reason you times it by 3 is because you've got your 3 for each little open square and closed square. You count 3 stitches, so it would be 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3 each square, 1, 2, 3. So that's why we're timesing it by 3. So you'd get your pattern, times it by 3. So this is 11, so 11 times 3 is 33. So now I know I need to chain 33 stitches. So I've chained 33 on here, and then what you have to do is you have to remember to add on for your turning chain and for your 2 chain over here. See if I can get them both in Yeah, that's there, that'll work. Okay, so what you have to do then is you have your 11 times 3, so this foundation is going to be 33 chain. Then you have to add on 1, 2, 3 chain here for your turning chain. So that's for your turning chain, 3 there, and then 2 for the top over here. So you got to add 2. So you're adding 3, 4, 5 extra chain. So it'll be 33, and then your turning chain and the 2 chain to give you an open square. This is if you're starting with an open square. Now if you weren't starting with an open square, you'd have to put your double crochets here, but we are starting with an open square. I will do another one where we don't start with an open what is this called, with an open square, but this I don't want to confuse. I want to keep this as simple as possible. So for this one, and you can always start with your open square on your first row anyway, because you can make, I like to do that, it just gives it this, you don't start your pattern immediately. So saying all of that, you've got to chain 33 plus your extra 5, so that gives you 38 chain for your foundation chain. So I've got 33 here. I've got 33, so I've got to add on 3 for my turning chain and 2 for my chain that goes across the top. So I now have 38 chains here. Then you wonder, okay, well now I'm going to go onto this row. Which chain do I go into? So now it's going to be, and I just want to show you so you get more of an idea. Now if we want to go into this chain over here, so that's going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that you skip, and you go into the 8th chain. So I hope that you're understanding my little drawing here. So all you're going to do is count these ones and then go into this is the 8th chain. So I've got all of my correct amount here. So now let me show you. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's my 8th chain. So I'm going to go into this 8th chain. Now once again you can choose to go in the top or the bottom. I'm going to go in the top. Keeps it a little more simple. And you're going to do a double crochet. Okay, so that's given you your first square, and you can see how it goes. They're the 2 that you've got to have here, your 3 and then your 2 for the top. So that's your first square. So if you look at your pattern, you're needing to have 11 squares, 11 open boxes. So you need to have 11 of these. So now what you're going to do is 2 chain, and you're going to do another double crochet, but you're going to skip 1, 2, and you're going to go into this one here, into your 3rd one. And this you're going to do all the way across. Chain 2, and then you're going to skip. Now be careful, because it looks like this is a stitch here, but it's not. That's the one we went into. 1, 2, and you're going to go into your 3rd. And if you see, I did 2 chain over here, so you skip 2 over there. So you're not adding any extra stitches, and you're not taking any stitches off. So just keep doing that all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, thank you. Because the worst is you come across and, oh my goodness, I have the wrong amount. Anyway, now to turn around, you have to have 3 to stand for your double crochet and 2 for a cross. So that's going to be 5. So all your rows you're going to start off with 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless, of course, you started, whoops. And as you see, I'm doing my pattern this way. I'm going up this way, and then you turn around. Alright, now the next thing, when you do filet crochet, that's getting your foundation, how many stitches you need, what to do. Whenever you're working on a chart and you're going from row to row, you have to start, this is row 1, which we've just done, because we did all these open squares. It was 11 open squares, so we did row 1. But you always start from the right. So you would start with row 1 and you go across this way. Now you're turning around, so obviously it makes sense that going back on row 2, you're going from this side. Row 3, you would go this side. Row 4, you're coming back this way. So as long as you remember that, you're doing a little squirrely pattern. And I've marked it here so I can actually see which way I'm supposed to be. I don't really have to because you've got your numbers here. I'll show you. So now we're on row 2 and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open squares. So we know how to do the open squares. I'm going to do them and then I'll show you how to do. These are called closed squares and I'll show you how to do those. So let me do my 5 open squares with you. So we did our chain 5, double crochet. Now we're going to go into this actual double crochet, not into the space, into this actual double crochet, and then it's chain 2, and this is what you're doing the whole way. Double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2. Unless it's a closed square, you're just doing double crochets, but I'll show you that now. But if it's an open square, this is all that you're going to do. Let's go into this one. I think that's 3. And you got to keep reading your pattern, because you do tend to forget. Let's see, I had to have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this is where it's going to be interesting. I did my 2 and I'm going into this one. Now this has given me 5 squares, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're doing your closed squares, your beginning double crochet counts as 1. Then you do 2 double crochets in this space, in your next space. Because remember you had 2 chains, so we just do 2 double crochets there, and you do another one in here. This one counts as the 4th one for your closed square, but it also counts as the 1st one for this. It sounds a bit confusing, but it's not really. So there's your 1 closed square. Now we're going to do the next one. So you do 2 double crochets in here, 2 double crochets in there, and another double crochet in here. Now you got 1, 2, 3, so I've got to do 1 more to make it 4. 2 double crochets in your space, and do your next one in here to finish off that square. Alright, so now we should have 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4 closed squares. Okay, and so then we should, after that you got 1, 2 open squares. So this is going to be the first one. So you do chain 2 and double crochet in there, in your double crochet. Now we're at the end of this row. So you do your chain 2 and then you're going to go into, you should have 2 there, so you'll go into the 3rd chain. And you should have your 2 open squares. So you got your 2 open, 4 closed, and your 5 open squares over there. And that's exactly what your pattern is saying. Alright, so now once again to turn around, you're going to do 5. Alright, so what I sometimes do before I start my next row is I just tick off the last row that I did, so that you just keep tabs of where you are, because it does get a bit confusing. So I finished with that row and I finished with that row. So now we're on row 3 and we have 2 open squares. So you did your chain 5, now you turn around and you're going to go into this double crochet again, so that gives you an open square, and 2 chain and double crochet into your next one. So now we have 2 open boxes. And on the pattern for row 3, because now remember we're coming back this way, you did 2, then you've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your closed. So now we've already got 1 over there, so you're going to, this was 1, and you're going to do your 2 that originally you did the 2 in your space. Now that space is taken over, so you're just going to do it in the actual 2 double crochet that you did there. So that's 1, you got 1 in there and 1 in the next one, and then you got to remember have 1 at the end. So there you go. So there you've got another closed box. Now we've got to do another one. So I've got the 1 there, so I've got 2, and you might want to just keep counting, so you keep tabs of it. These are the 2 middle 2, whoops, and then I need one on the end, which is this one, just so that you know that you're not going you're not adding any extra in or taking any out. So now I've got my end ones, I've got the two middle ones, and then I need an end. So as long as you remember that that's an end, now I need two middle ones, there and there. Okay, so that's given me my 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now this one actually had 5, so now I've got to do another one in this open one. These are the easier ones. So see, now I don't think I went into my end one. Let me make sure. End one with 2, end one with 2, end one with 2, end one with 2, end one. See, so I actually didn't go into my last one. So it's a good thing to just keep counting. Okay, so that's the end one, so that finishes that block off. Now I've got to do 2 and then 1 in the end. So 2 chain and 1 in here, 2 chain, 1 in there, two chain, 1 in there. Now right at the end, so you do your 2 chain, and then you got to have 2, 1, 2, so you go into the 3rd chain here. And then you do your chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can turn around. So now we're starting to get a bit of a shape. You can see it's looking a little more. Just remember which side you're on, because we're going, this is now row 4 that we're doing, so I should really have put it over there, but I know what I'm doing. So it's 3, 6 and 2. Okay, so now I can concentrate. So I need 3 open boxes. So once again, you're going to do your double crochet in here, chain 2, double crochet in there, chain 2, double crochet in there, because we have 3 open boxes, and that should be 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I have 6 closed. So now remember, this is going to be your first one that's going to be closed, because you've got 3. So now you've got to do them in the middle here. So you got there's your one end, your 2 double crochets in the middle, and then a double crochet in here just to close it off, and there's your one box. Okay, we're doing 6 of those, so that starts off your one box, the one that you ended off with, 2 in the middle, 2 in this space, and 1 to end it off in your actual double crochet. So that gave us 2 blocks. Okay, so now we've come back. Those are the, like I say, that's the easy one. Now we've got these. So now you just got to keep counting. So I've done 1, 2. Now you got, that was my end one over there. So I'm going to go into these 2 that were the middle 2, 1, 2, and then I need an end one. And that's the end one. Then I need another 2 in the middle. 1, whoops, 2, and then an end one, and then 2 in the middle. I'm going to check how many I've done. 1, 2 in the middle, and 1 in the end. Remember, always finish. These are easy to see, so that you've done them. If you're struggling to see, look where you had 1. You've got 1, 2, which follows there. This would be 3, 4, 5. So I can see that I'm needing 1 more. Okay, and I've finished off with the end one, and now I need 2 for the middle. 1, 2, and 1 for the end, which is over there. And then My pattern said 2 open squares, 2 open blocks, which is correct. I'm left with 2, so that's good. So we do our 2 chain and your double crochet in here. It's given me 1 block, 2 chain, and then you count 1, 2 and go into the third. So let's see, 1, 2, there's my third. And because I know that this pattern, all of my endings are open blocks, I can keep doing end off with 5 with 5 chains for your turning chain, and then turn around and start the next row. So let's see where we are on the pattern. I've just finished with row 4. Right, so now we are on row 5, and as you can see here, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 open squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closed, and 2 open. So I just wrote them over there so that I can start. You can also see, it makes it easier to see, you've got to skip 2 of those, 2 of your closed squares, which are over there. So you know that these are your closed ones, that you're going to be doing open squares over these. So that might be a little tricky. So let's see how we do that. Now you do a double crochet in your first one, because we have 4 open squares. Whoops. This is 1, chain 2, this is number 2. Okay, so now we're doing an open square over the closed. So this is the first stitch of your closed, those are the 2, and this is your end one. So you've got to go into that one. So you're skipping 2 and going into your 4th. So it's not really hard. Chain 2, skip these 2 and go into that one. So it's kind of the same as you did on the bottom when you made your squares, but don't get too carried away like me now, because I'm about to do more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we do our closed squares, because I need 5 closed squares. So this is the beginning of this one. You've got to go in 2. So 2 double crochets in the next 2 for your middle 2, and 1 for the end. That's 1 square. 2 in the middle, 1 for the end, and the end 2 squares. And then I should end off, as you see on the pattern, row 5. I need to have 2 open, which I do. There's the one, there's the other one. So it's chain 2, double crochet in there, chain 2, and double crochet in the third one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we've done 5 rows, and it's starting to
so for row
6, we're going this way again, and row 6 has 1, 2, 3 open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 closed, 6 closed, and 2 open. And always count 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So as long as these numbers come up to 11, you know you're okay. So I did my 5 chain, and then we turn around, and then I've got to do 3 open. So there's my first open. That's number 1. Chain 2, and then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the end of row 6. So we're starting to get a bit of a pattern. You can't always see it from close up. Sometimes you need to be a little further to see it. Row 7, heading back this way, has got 2 open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closed, and then 4 open. So let's do that. So it's 2 open, which I already have got 2 open. So go in there, chain 2, and next one in, you skip over, go into this one, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I've got one more row. Okay, so we are finished with row 7, and now we have row 8. And row 8 has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open, 1, 2, 3, 4 closed, and 2 open. So, alright, so for row 8, you've got to do 5 open squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 closed and 2 open. So we've got our chain 5, and then we're going to be doing 5 open. So that's not too hard because I've got 4 open, and then it'll just be 1 extra. So double crochet here, chain 2, double crochet, okay, and then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we've got our last row. So now on this last row, on row 9, all of them are open. So you need to have 11 open open squares, open blocks. Then I'm not going to do this part with you, the second heart, but you can do it. I'll put the pattern down there on my blog. I'll put the pattern on there, and you can do it by yourself. And then all that you do is you just keep repeating this. So when you've got to the end of that row, you start here again, go up, go to the end, start here again. So that's all that you're doing, is repeating that. And you should have a clearer picture of what you're doing. As I say, it's not as clear now because we haven't done very much. So now for this row, we're just going to do an open square for each one. So all you do is go into the open ones like that, and then you skip 2, go into the third, and 1 more, and then I'm done with this. And as I say, this is really just so that you can see how to do filet crochet. That's what it looks like. So yeah, you know, that's just generally, those are the basics of filet crochet. So if you have any struggles, you're welcome to leave me a comment down the bottom, but otherwise I hope that you've come right, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks, bye.